To the BrutusMonroe channel and Crafty Shenanigans channels. I am going to play tonight. I'm going to do something I don't typically do, and that is usually when I do a live, I worry about spending too much time coloring, and so I thought tonight I would switch things up a little bit and spend the time actually to color. So I'm going to show you some new markers from, they're called Colorista, and BrutusMonroe just started carrying them. And so I thought it would be fun to just kind of demonstrate how those work and see what you guys think of those. I only tried them out once, and I will, well, just wait and see. We'll talk about it. All right. I am going to be coloring one stamp I just recently purchased, and I haven't had a time to play with it yet, so I'm really excited. Sorry, hopefully I can talk now. It's called Sunflower Bunches, and this was from the fall release. Super cute. And November and sunflowers, come on. Sunflowers, I love that they go all through the fall. All through the late summer, all through the fall. I'll hold on to sunflowers as long as I can. Hi, Tina. How are you doing? Hope you're having a fun Friday night.
Beverly said hi.
Hi, Beverly. Welcome, welcome. All right, you guys, are you ready to get coloring? Are you ready for me to get coloring, Darren?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, gonna switch the camera view. Hi, Donna, how are you? I'm glad that you were able to get on. Let's see. Yep, I think I have it going the right way. All right, and I think for tonight, I'm gonna let the camera kind of hang down a little low so you can see. I don't like to adjust it too much because it gets kind of temperamental and then it goes down when I don't want it to, of course. Okay, so one of the first things that I will tell you is that a game changer for me in coloring with alcohol markers is this paper. And this is from BrutusMonroe. I'm going to see if I have the packaging still. I do. It's called Perfect Blend paper. And I only almost use this to stamp on because it makes blending so much easier. So if you don't have any of the Perfect Blend, you will definitely want to invest in that because it is awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and cut down my panel. So there's a huge release coming on Sunday, I believe, and you are not going to want to miss it. But I will tell you that hi, Donna R. So I was working really hard this week working on samples, and my room was a shambles. So I don't have everything cut out like I usually would, but we will get there. Okay. So bear with me for just a minute. I had to undo the crafter math. And boy, I definitely created some. Okay. Ooh, there might be a little preview on there. Let me wipe this off. I didn't even think about that. Can't spill the beans. Okay. I didn't realize I still had some images on there. So let's flip that over so it's not wet. And let's get our paper in there. What's everyone up to tonight? Everybody recover from Halloween? No more candy hangovers?
Robin said hi.
Hi, Robin. Welcome. Okay, so I've just got my little Misty platform out. And I'm going to grab our stamp. Again, this is from Sunflower. This is Sunflower Bunches. There's just the one stamp in the set. And I am so excited to put color on this thing. I have been dying to play with it. Okay. Let's see if that's going to stay. Let's move that up a little bit. I like to get the magnets as close to the image as I can. You know what? What am I doing? I could just use my other, well, for now we'll do this. That's why it's nice to have a stick and stamp mat though. If I had my bigger Misty out, that would have been a no-brainer, but I didn't get it out. So I'll do that maybe to do the stenciling. Okay, this is Raven ink, and this is a great ink for using alcohol markers or watercoloring. It's definitely my go-to. And excuse me while I shake the table. I'm probably pushing harder than I need to. Especially since I am likely to ink it all up again because that's just how I roll. And I'll just use my little, I just have a piece of felt on my acrylic block that I don't use anymore because I use my Misty all the time.
Donna's taking care of a sick dog.
Oh, Donna, which dog is sick? Oh, I'm sorry.
Jean is watching you, the NASCAR truck race, and gearing up for Sunday BrutusMonroe holiday extravaganza.
Ooh, fun. That sounds like a great weekend.
And I was wondering why you can't find the ribbon curl stencil on the website.
Is that one that's, no, I don't think that one's the stamp of the month. Try typing in, ribbon curls mixed media. Maybe it'll come up under. I don't know why that wouldn't come up. That's interesting. Darren, maybe if you get an opportunity.
I'm looking right now.
He's already on it. Darren's looking that up to see if he can find it and he'll link it. I am just going to re-ink my stamp pad a little bit. I told you I did a lot of stamping this week, so I think I needed to ink up my stamp pad a little bit. And this is a new stamp, so we kind of have to keep that in mind. Probably should have waited a minute and let the ink saturate into the pad, but I'm not that patient. But you know what they say about patience. All right, hopefully I didn't kill this. Let's check it out. Okay, I think it's gonna be okay. And I always have a hard time getting that middle sometimes. I probably have a bubble where I put it on. I'll push down a little bit more. Should we do it one more time? One more time, maybe on that big sunflower center. Just seems a little more faded than the rest. What was that? Darren is posting the link to the ribbon curls stencil right now. Thanks, Darren. Okay, I think we got that now. I'm going to set that to the side. Put my lid on my ink pad. All right, so can you guys see okay? Do I need to bring the camera down a little bit maybe? I don't have a fancy color cam, darn it. See if I can get it down at least a little bit.
Donna said she's introducing her sister-in-law to the world of paper crafting.
Oh, how fun, Donna.
About the holiday extravaganza.
Oh, she will love it. That's awesome. Okay. Hi, Michelle. I'm bringing up a chair so that I can just take my time. I love to color.
This lady's working on Black Friday free gifts.
Who is?
Christopher.
Oh, hi, Christopher. He's working on Black Friday free gifts. That sounds pretty good. I got a little sneak peek, and I'm telling you, you are not going to want to miss that. Okay, so I have obviously got several sets here, and I apologize. I really didn't think about it too much when I took them all out of the boxes, but this is several sets. If you look on the links that Darren has set up, you can see the different colors that there are and how they come as far as what sets go with what. But I've never been one to just stick to that. I do it kind of how I want to. So I'm going to pull out some some yellows, some orange, some brown. Good sunflower colors, right? And we're gonna need some greens. And we may or may not use all of those. I don't think we need all of them. They're different color families, but I just wanted to get them out so we can go from there. Okay. I will probably, oops. And by the way, do you notice the bag that I've chosen to put my Colorista markers in? This is from my inspiration kit, and it works perfect for this. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna stick with maybe those 3 greens. Get some of this off of the table. And we'll keep the orange there. And let's see, I don't think I'm gonna need that one. There we go. So typically, if you have not colored with alcohol markers before, typically you have 3 shades. These are all different color families, so I don't really know how they all work together yet. We're gonna find out together. What I did find out the other day is that the colors on these blend really well. So you do have a little play as far as that goes. So let's just jump in, and maybe it's a better thing not to get too hung up on that. I'm gonna stay with the lightest first, and this one is called Light Yellow. And I would imagine that it's from the light. Again, I apologize that I don't have the boxes to tell you for sure, but I would imagine this is from the lights. There's one that's all pastels. There's one that's, Darren, you might need to help me on this. There's one that's like richer tones.
Donna C says hi.
Hi, Donna C. We got all the Donnas. You know what? I think I already messed up, which is okay because this is a nice light yellow, and this is a great base for green. So don't freak out if you do what I do.
Michelle said, windows at BrutusMonroe are starting to be decorated for Christmas, and the tree was up.
Oh, that is awesome. I'll just repeat that the windows are getting filled and decorated for Christmas at the BrutusMonroe retail shop. That is awesome. One of these days I'm going to make it there. So now that I have made a base of yellow, I'm going to do it on everything. I'm being careful not to get into the black yet because I didn't heat set this. It is not a bad idea at all to heat set your ink, especially if you're like me and you went over your ink a couple of times. It does take a little bit of time to dry. So the nice thing with this is I'm going to be doing the petals too in this color, so I really can't mess up too much. As long as I stay in the lines, I should be fine. But like I said, I'm kind of steering clear of the lines themselves as much as I can. But if you go over into them, it's like not a tragedy. There's usually a way to fix it, or at least camouflage it. I am a fan of that. I need all the help I can get when I make projects. So another key factor when you're coloring, excuse my dogs, they're saying hello. When you're coloring with alcohol markers, basically you're moving the color around. So as we go to blend, you're going to push the colors into one another. So if you do kind of go over and get a little black in there, just kind of push it back in towards where it goes without touching the line if you can. And I don't know why I'm being so precise. Oh, because I'm trying to avoid the lines pretty much. But let's do the leaves first. That'll give the ink a little bit of time to dry so that...
How big is the pen nib and what are they made of?
As far as the nib goes, I can show it to you. I don't have an exact number. But it has this end, which is nice and like a brush. And it has this other end, which typically... I don't use the opposite. I always use the brush end, but I actually really like this one. It gives you a little bit more control. So if you have those tight little spaces, like I have one right here, I missed a spot on, it's a lot easier to control. So, and both are juicy, which is nice too, because I find this end usually is a little bit dry. But I think these are really, really nice. And they're really, really affordable. A set of these comes with, how many markers are in a set, Darren? Can you look?
8 and 12.
There's 8 in most of the sets. I guess there's 12 in some of them. And I think that there's some special sets that are like coloring sets that have fewer, but have...
8-pack sets, and there's 5 12-packs.
Oh, there's 6 8-packs and 5 12-packs?
Yeah.
I think I had the 12-packs. Anyway, $9.99 is what most of these go for. So definitely something that you could work into your budget. Okay, not doing the yellow yet. We are going to do the green. So now I'm going to use my next lightest, since I was kind of crazy how I did that. And I'm just going to kind of choose, we'll just say the light's kind of coming this way. And I am by no means an expert. It's just kind of trial and error and just a lot of practice. And so, and there are people who are amazing, lots of tutorials, but I think I do well enough to just get by. You know what I'm saying? So if you just want to color and you're not like necessarily wanting to be the master, but you want your stuff to look good, I think that's kind of the speed that I'm at. Okay, so you can see I'm just kind of outlining. And obviously right now you don't see much blending going on. So we'll go through and kind of just move that color around a little bit. And it's okay because there's a lot more color that's going to go on these leaves. But you can see how that line is softening up.
Tina said, repeat 3 times, I do not need more markers.
Tina, I will say this, for the price of these, honestly, I just was going to play with them and I didn't expect a whole lot out of them. But honestly, I really like the way they color. And I'm hoping that they get more colors that in between the colors. Just, you know, it's always fun to have more of anything, right? As far as art supplies go anyway. Okay, so now let's go on to our medium green. So this green was called olive green. This green is called forest green. And I'm going to be cutting that out. So if I want, I'm just going to use the side to kind of get an idea of what color I'm working with to know if I want to use it. Like, I don't want to use that color, I don't think. I think it's kind of out of the, we'll see. This one looks like it has a lot of blue in it. Let's see where this one takes us. Well, I don't think it's going to take us quite as far as I want. So you know what? I am going to go to the darkest one now, because we're going to blend it in using that medium color. And I don't need a whole lot of this. I'm just kind of trying to add a little bit of shadow. Okay, so let's see how we do with this. Absolutely, Michelle. Absolutely. And I'm doing the live version of hurrying a little bit. So I have to remember that that's what this entire live is about. So I can slow down a little bit. It's okay. I'm so used to feeling like I have to hurry with the coloring portion. I'm sorry, Tina. I have to confess that's probably true. But honestly, I don't think you'll be sorry. I think these are really definitely worth the price. Look at how nice those blend together. See, that color was kind of wacky with this, but it blended just fine. And don't be afraid of leaving a little space like that. Sometimes that's one of my, one of the things I could work on is leaving more of the lighter highlights. I guess I'm afraid that it's not going to blend or something, but it always does. So don't be afraid of that. Okay, so let's move on to another set of leaves really quick. And I'm going to do this one a little quicker so that we can get onto the petals and finish up a card tonight. So I do still have to keep my live
Donna said
coloring.
blending nice.
What was that?
Donna said they seem to be blending.
Donna, they really do. I tried these out on, well, I can't tell you what I used because you'll see it on in the next week or so. But I will tell you that I used some colors that I just were kind of far from each other, and they weren't even necessarily in the same color family, and they worked out really nice. So I definitely think the blendability of these is really nice.
Donna R says, depending on how well the craft gang does this Sunday, my sister-in-law may get a set in her stocking.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. She will love them. Okay, so now we got to blend those into each other. And I think I'll use the little more controlled side and see what we think of that. This is nice because when you're getting in those little corners, like I said, I don't want to go into where the petals are. So this is a nice, it's nice to have that added control. Does anybody have any more questions for right now? I tend to get into what I'm doing and then I forget. Oh, I think I forgot to color the whole thing with this. That's all right. You can see they're user friendly. I mean, I'm not really following.
Says, I really want her to get bit by the crafty bug.
Oh, you know what? It's nice to have crafty buddies, huh? I agree. I think that there's so much joy in crafting that you do. You just want to share it with everybody. And the community is every bit as much fun as the crafting itself. I love the people that I have learned, who I have. Okay, Donna, take care, okay? I love the people that I've met through this crafty business. So again, like I said before, you're just moving that color around. So when you go back over with the lighter color, so I went with the darker, and then I went with the medium, and then I kind of used the lighter tone to blend it all out. And typically, and I did them both different, and I apologize for that. Typically, I will lay down the lightest color first, but I didn't. I kind of skipped the lightest green on this one. Okay, so now we'll use the lightest green here. I jumped the gun a little bit.
It's hard to see your hands covering things.
I'm sorry, I have big hands. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with the darker color because I'm not sure if I used that or if I used the green on that. But just to be sure. Because you can see the depth that it's giving the leaves.
He said, that's okay, these are not identical.
That is true, Donna. Thank you for that. Leaves are not identical. I'm going to try to practice leaving it lighter on the end a little bit. Okay, so we've got our leaves, and you saw that was really, really simple. Now we can go on to some of these blooms. Let's have some fun with those. And I think for these, I'll use the brush end.
Michelle said, I tried my sister-in-law without luck, but she did bless me with a niece who was hooked at an early age.
Oh, that's perfect, Michelle. My sister is the person who like my #1 crafty friend. She's the person I love to craft with. Though I am not the best crafting with other people. I can sometimes, but a lot of times I just want to visit. But, you know, when we talk about crafts together, and when I do make myself actually do something when I'm with her, she inspires me to do things I wouldn't have tried or thought of. And she is the best. I just love her. I miss crafting with her and going to crafty events with her. I'm hoping maybe I can go see her in the coming year. We used to go to the Scrapbook Expo, and we went to Creativation together. She is definitely my crafty partner in crime. We used to dream about having a craft room that we both would have a tunnel to from our homes that we could just meet in the middle, because we both lived in the same town back then.
Michelle asked where she lived.
My sister lives in Utah.
Donna said you should Zoom craft with her.
You know, Donna, I think that would be such a fun idea. I will have to try to catch up with her. She has 6 kids, and I think she has 12 grandbabies. She's got a lot of family stuff going on, and she is a fun grandma. She always has the kids over there sleeping
Gina
over.
says hi, sorry she's late.
Hi, Gina. How are you? So that keeps her pretty darn busy, but if I can catch her.
Michelle said she loves the idea of a tunnel.
Wouldn't that be fun? I would love a crafty tunnel all the way to BrutusMonroe, but you know, or a jet would be even better, right? I will get there. I will get there one of these days. All right.
Donna said, I hope you won't look to be funny when I start talking. Paperweight and blending technique.
You know, it doesn't take long to pick up the lingo, Donna. I'm sure she will not look at you funny for very long if she does. When you, it's amazing how quickly, when you get all of that passion and enthusiasm for it. I think one of the things, when I was first crafting a lot, I started scrapbooking, and then I remember I had a couple of stamp sets, and I'd bought them at the grocery store, honestly, and they were obviously not like the best quality, and they used to tick me off because they were all alphabet stamps is what I started with, and the way that they were made, the rubber went all the way around the squares, and I just was too heavy-handed, and I would always get the corner when I was trying to stamp a word, and I'm like, these are just dumb. I hate stamps. I had just decided that I hated stamps. And then I went to somebody's party for one of the companies, and they were the stamps were trimmed so that there wasn't so much excess.
Stamps are the gateway drug to the craft world.
It's true. Stamps are definitely a gateway. And then they embossed, and I was like, whoa, that is magic. What is this? And I had never seen heat embossing before then. And I was hooked after that.
Donna said you can Zoom craft with her and Gina.
That sounds like so much fun. I would love that. I am all for it. I would love to Zoom craft. All right, so I'm not sure about the second color for this one. Let's try the brighter one. I mean, it blends just fine. You can see that, but I am wanting bright. You've seen what I like. I like the bright colors, so I'm going to use the darker color, and then I'll blend them in. This is called Dandelion. The other one is called Moonlight, which is a pretty good describing name for these.
Donna said stamps are gateway. Heck, they are an addiction in themselves.
It's too true. It is true. Stamps are addicting. I just love them. So what are your favorite types of stamps, everyone? Do you like background stamps more than some? Do you like florals? Do you like cute characters? Do you like a particular kind or a style, or do you just, are you like me and I like a little of all of it? Or a lot of all of it. How about that? So sometimes when I get some of that gray, I have to remind myself, you know, when you're actually coloring, like I find that when I'm using even just colored pencils and I add some gray tones, that actually that I think helps. I mean, ideally, I try not to get the gray on there, but when it gets on there, it's not as tragic as you may think. So don't stress if you have a little bit of that gray in there. Just gives you some shadows.
Tina said she loves most all stamps.
Yep, they have different functions, don't they? But I will say that I definitely, floral stamps will get my attention the quickest. But I love all stamps, I think. A little something about all of them. I love all the possibilities.
Donna said, God have good at everything, but I love flowers.
Oh man, flowers are just, and they're fun to color. If you love to color at all, flowers are always fun to watch them kind of come to life. So you can see now I'm using an orange, so we'll see how well the orange blends because that's, you know, quite a bit deeper. And I'm just going up a little higher on the back petals since they would have a little bit more shadow on them.
Simon's background stamps.
Simon does have good background stamps, doesn't he? I just got the wood one. I'm looking forward to playing with that. Okay, so now we're going to blend those out a little bit. And I'm only blending the very end of where I colored because I kind of want to keep it dark towards the what do you call that, where it's connected to the center, the base.
Speaking of flowers, yours are looking great.
Ah, thank you. They are fun, aren't they? I'm telling you, this is a fun set to color. I love those big, bold blooms. Another good idea when you're coloring, like you can see I keep getting a little close to the black, is to have some, if you're going to not cut out your florals, you want to have maybe just a piece of paper. You can just kind of clear off the tip of your pen a little bit. And we'll do this last big one.
See how you do the faces.
What was that?
Michelle said, I can't wait to see how you do the faces.
Oh, well, I can't wait to see how I do the faces either. We'll see how that works out. All right.
Not really faces, though, are they?
The centers? I think that's what they're called.
Kind of like a smile, but they just,
Yeah, they kind of do look like they have a smile, don't they?
it's just the art.
Okay, so let's see which of our browns is going to be the darkest. So this one's called Coffee Bean, which I'm going to guess that that one's going to be the darkest. This one is called Cocoa. And this one is called Tan. So, yep. This one, let's do the tan first. That brush works so nice. That's a pretty color. I like the warmth of that color.
Michelle said to obviously put her glasses on.
Oh, Michelle, that's okay. They look like faces. I just thought you were just calling the center of the flowers faces, so it was all good with me. Okay, so now we're going to use Coffee Bean. And I'm going to just kind of dot it, just because that'll give us some texture, like the center of sunflowers have texture to them. So I don't think I'm going to need to blend them because we kind of want to keep the texture there. And if we add anything more to that, it's going to kind of blend together, I think. Does that make sense? So I think we're going to leave them just like that. All right. What do you think? All right, let's cut this out, and I'm going to be doing my live cutting rather than my perfectionist.
Yes, that's a big looking face.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like a cute little happy face.
Donna says it kind of looks like Charlie Brown.
Like Charlie Brown. That's hilarious. It kind of does.
Michelle said, nice job on the faces.
Thanks, Michelle. So, next week is kind of a big week. Next week, I am turning 50. Can you believe it? I don't know. Some days I can really believe it, and other days I'm like, what? I'm just not mature enough to be 50. Well, I kind of cut that one a little wonky, but that's okay.
Candy said, sorry too late.
Hi, Candy.
KU crafty day.
What was the last thing?
What?
What was the last part?
Packing for KU crafty day.
Ooh, you're packing for a crafty day. That sounds fun.
Donna said you're still a young girl.
Well, thanks, Donna. I feel like I am, but you know. I guess I just have to look at my kids and go, oh, okay, I guess, yeah.
Donna R said you're still a spring chicken.
Oh, thanks, Donna.
Gina said these are beautiful.
Aren't these fun, Gina? I love this set.
Said you don't even look close to 50.
Who said that?
Candy.
Oh, Candy, you are very kind. Well, I am. Yeah, I decided, so I haven't been much of a scrapbooker in well, since I started making cards about a decade ago or so. I guess more than that. It's been more than a decade. It's been, what, 15 years maybe? But I decided that I want to make a scrapbook this year to kind of commemorate my 50th year. So I'll probably start a series on the Crafty Shenanigans channel, and we'll see if it spills over.
Michelle said happy early birthday.
Aw, thanks, Michelle. So for my birthday, Darren and I were able to, we needed a new couch anyway. And so we got a new couch, but then there was this chair that was just like, if you saw this chair, it would make you laugh because it's just ginormous.
It's a bleeding throne.
Darren calls it my throne because I just have not had much success ever really feeling comfortable on the couches that we had. I just never could quite get comfortable. And so I was like, ooh, can I get this for my birthday? And so I got my own special chair that my dogs can sit on either side of me. I can curl up my legs. I can do whatever in there. And it is really nice. It was really a nice gift. Okay, so now my foot's asleep. So if you hear like a loud noise, then I fell down. All right, let's see. So we're going to now use, this is the subtle spot stencil, and we'll use that. And then I'm also going to use the wood stencil. I just have to get the filling in my foot so I can grab.
Wow, perfect fuzzy cutting.
Oh, you are very kind. Thank you.
Donna said the big comfy chair sounds great.
Oh, you know what? It is such a nice chair. I got to sit in it the other day, and I actually fell asleep.
You have to chase your son out of it all the time, though.
I do have to compete with Benji, though. If he gets to it before I do, I have to get him to move. But really, we could probably sit in it together. Okay, let me grab this. And we'll do the wood first. So let's see how wide is this. No, I think we did okay. So I'm going to make this, we'll do 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm just using a craft kind of color. And then we'll use a brown for our wood grain. I think we'll use maybe a couple of browns. I've got Simon Herney inks here. I've got Cookie Dough, Gur, and Weeping Willow. I don't think the cookie dough will really show up though. Now is the time that I'm going to grab my stick and stamp mat. And let me see if I can get my blending buddy. Except that I think that this is too small for that anyway, but it still will give me a little bit more coverage than if I didn't have it on there, right? Less to clean. So we'll do this, and then we can just stick this in here. So I'm not sure where we're at with the fundraiser, but there is a special edition. In fact, I have it here. I'll show it to you. So special edition stick and stamp mat. It actually comes with this stencil. Let me pull out the stencil so you can see it. And it's listed on the site. Sorry, Darren, to surprise you.
Yeah, I'm adding in for you.
But thanks, Darren. But the proceeds to this will benefit a charity. It's called Hair. What is it? What is it called, Darren? The name just totally left my head. But Darren's looking it up, so I can tell you in a minute. But it is donating a charity that donates wigs to people who are Yeah, well, obviously it's hair something, who are fighting cancer.
Hair
So,
piece.
hair peace, peace, Peace. So, and this stencil is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing with this. So, anyway, I know that there is a goal of 15, isn't it $1,500? And last time I looked, which was a few days ago, I think we're just past 1,000. So definitely a good cause to support. I would definitely go with the one that says hair piece on it for now, as that's limited and that's the only way that you can get the stencil because that's not going to be sold separate. So definitely worth a look. Okay, I'm going to grab my blending brush. And this is Gur. Let's start with Gur because, well, let's start with cookie dough. Let's see what cookie dough does. I'm just curious. It might not even show up because it's the same color almost. 1114.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're climbing, but it's a slow climb. Let's get it all up there. So, yes, definitely a great cause to
Jeanette said
support.
you could go with that fussy cutting, was great.
Oh, thank you so much. Sometimes fussy cutting is therapeutic, I think.
And Jeanette, or Michelle said, you need to make yourself a crown to go with your chair.
Right? I definitely need a crown. Oh, that's funny. It is funny. It's like I said, it was a really nice thing that Darren did for me. I appreciate it. He is good to me. I don't think I even thanked you, Darren, today. Thank you, Darren, for moderating. Thank you for adding the links. Much appreciated. Okay, so I do think this is going to show up a little bit. Not a whole lot. But I think we'll just kind of blend a little bit of all of it. And I'm just going to brush up just because it's such an intricate stencil that I don't want to move it around any more than I have to, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of brushing it on there. Just up and down following the grain. Might go a little darker on the edges. Yeah, I kind of like that darker on the edges, but not too much darker. Okay, and now we can do Weeping Willow, which is our nice dark brown. And I'm just going to start at the edges so that we know kind of what we're working with here. Don't want to go too dark. Yeah, just kind of brush up a little bit. It's one little piece I keep catching. If you don't want it to move, you can always put a little bit of pixie spray on there, or you can tape it down. I didn't really do anything but stick it on the mat, so there are ways you can avoid moving that more than I did. So I'm just going to wipe my hands off so I don't get stuff on everything. And let's look and see what we've got here. All right, that's fun. I'm just going to wipe off my stencil really quick. Whew. All these little intricate pieces are what make it so cool. But they do make it a little more tricky. You got to be a little more careful. Okay, so now you can see I would have had all of that to clean off of my mat, but because we had our little blending buddy, is that what it's called? Blending buddy.
Yeah, there's a lot new on the website today.
There was a lot of new stuff put on the website, wasn't there? I always love to see the new things. And there you go. Already clean. Okay. So we've got this piece. And then I was thinking I would just make something for the center. Maybe we'll cut it down about like that. So what color do we want to do for that? Let's do, I usually have this thought out more, but I didn't remember that middle piece that I would need to come up with a different color. Just putting the ink away while I'm thinking for a second. Let me see what. I really like purple and yellow together, and we have an embossing powder that I've been dying to try. So let's go with, is this the one? I think it's this one, yeah. Eggplant. Isn't that a pretty color? So let's get that out. Let me grab my little tray. Make sure that all of the powder is out of it. And my tablet died, so if you can't see or anything, feel free to let me know and I'll move. Let me just dry that out so we don't have embossing powder stuck to the tray. To the white piece?
Yeah. The line between the black and white is almost the center, so.
Oh, really?
A little bit to the right, close, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that, and then I'll kind of try to stick to the purple mat. Thanks, Darren. Put all the
I
markers.
remember a huge wood stencil from one of the workshops, it's smaller than the perfect for cards.
Yeah, I remember that one too. That was a fun one. But yes, this one's great for cards. This one's a nice size for that. But the wood one is nice too for like if you're making DIY projects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down a piece of paper for our center. I think a little smaller than that. Let's try 3 1/4. And then this one was 4 inches wide, I believe. Wasn't it? Yes. Though, I'm wondering if we want to do a border. Or if we just want to do it on the card this way.
Just as the website pictures don't do the Christmas ornaments justice, there's all words in person.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I think we'll do it like this. I think the white will be our border. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me while I just kind of plan as we go. Okay, so I'm going to use triple berry. And I'm going to move my, I don't want to use this with this today. Let's use, I just want to make sure that this is kind of clean. I don't want a harsh purple, so I just want to make sure that it's not too crazy. There's not a ton of color in there. All right, we're okay. So I'm just going to blend that. And I should have grabbed the stick and stamp again, but I didn't grab it. So let's just keep going. If you start off a little further than I did, then you can avoid heavy spots like that. Though I wouldn't sweat it too much because with the flowers and the stenciling we're going to do, it's probably not going to be a big deal anyway. And as always, I always like to go a little heavier around the sides anyway. I feel like it kind of frames in your panel. Am I still positioned okay, hon? Darren?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. All right. We're getting there, guys. All right. So now we'll start there. I think that looks like a decent amount of color. Let's wipe that off real quick. I really should have taken a picture of this room before. It was something else, let me tell you. Okay, so now I'm going to dry this just a little bit. That's probably good enough. All right, so now I think I will use our stick and stamp. And let's grab our embossing ink. Let's see. All right, so I am going to position this in there. Oh, first thing I want to do though, and this is, I'm terrible about remembering this. I always forget until after I put the ink on, and then I'm like, oh man. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the anti-static. And I'm being careful not to get a lot of it on the mat itself. All right, so now we can just slip that in. Maybe. In theory, we can. There we go. Just have to be coordinated more than me. Okay, so now I'm just going to simply press. I'm not going to worry about rubbing it on a lot. Just kind of pushing it in, wiggling it a little bit back and forth. This is the embossing ink that BrutusMonroe carries. This is great stuff. All right, I think we are ready for the embossing powder. So I'll clean that in just a second. Clean that in just a second. I'll clean it after the live. So now we can use this beautiful eggplant color. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Ooh, that's pretty. Looks like I got a little bit. There we go. We don't want to wipe it off in the places that we want it. Okay. You notice I did that off camera just in case I spilled. And because I did it off camera, I didn't spill too much. If I did it on camera, I would have spilled. I'm telling you, that's just the way it goes. So now I'm just going to use, I like to use just a clothespin. Careful not to put it on top of any of the embossing powder. And let's watch the magic happen. Ooh, there we go. Almost have it. Oops. Well, thankfully we have it now because I totally dumped that on there. Blew right out of my hand. And the only one that I think got messed up is right there, and that's not going to matter because we're going to have flowers on top of it. So I think we'll do something like that. I'm still kind of feeling like I think we need to trim it a little bit and put a mat behind it. And then we will have it pretty close to done. Let me just grab a piece of cardstock. Bear with me for 1 sec. Isn't it a pretty set? Okay. So we'll cut this piece down to 4 by 5 1/4, and we'll cut the other one down a little bit.
You like your mats?
I do like my mats, it's true. They just frame it in, you know? And this one needs to be, actually, let's see if we want to do it all the way across or if we want to, oh, I have to cut this down first.
Donna says all that purple pop of color. I never put those colors together.
Thank you. I like purple and yellow together. I think that they always look kind of fun.
Purple's always good.
Darren says purple's good with everything.
Color choice.
Oops. Do we want that all the way across? I'm liking it all the way across. Let's stick with that. And I do think we're going to need like some ribbon or something. I know, shocking, right? I never use ribbon. Okay, let's put these ones together and we will have this. So I'm going to use my Burley Art Glue. And I do apologize for going over a little bit. I try to keep them within an hour, but I've been having a lot of fun with you. And coloring just takes time most of the time, and I'm not really great at coloring fast. Okay, so then we'll get this on there. then we'll just add a little piece of ribbon.
Donna asked, what color ribbon are you thinking?
I might do white. Do you have a suggestion? Of what color of ribbon? I've been working on organizing my room, and I'm getting very close. I just don't ever have enough time to finish it all in one sitting. And then when I do crafter math, then I have to go back and redo some of it. You know how it is. That's just how a crafter room is. It's just kind of a perpetual reorganizing. But,
Donna says a thin yellow would be pretty.
which color?
Thin yellow?
Thin yellow? Let's see if I've got a thin yellow. I brought some options. Let's try them all.
Tina said she loves embossing powder.
Oh, yeah, Tina, I think it's pretty too. It's a very pretty color. Let's see if any of these work. It's putting the pin in my glue because I am terrible about remembering that. Okay, here's white. So that's what white would look like. And not a lot of the ribbon's going to show.
Donna says, good detail card, take all the time you need.
Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you. It's a fun card. I had fun making it. I kind of like how the yellow's kind of tying those together. And the purple is just way off. But I like that. Good suggestion with the yellow. So now we can tie our bow. And we'll tie it over to the side. And we'll try to get the shiny side to be what the loops are made out of, so they're both shiny. Which means trying to be coordinated.
Oh, good job, Donna, on yellow.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, that yellow is a great way to tie it together. Like I said, good job on the suggestion. Okay, let's move that over a little bit. And we'll kind of see if we might have to turn the card to get the bow where we want it. I don't know why, but I swear I always tie my bows upside down. But thankfully, we could just turn the card the other way. Probably cut that down a little bit more. Yeah, I don't want the bow to be the focal point, so we will squish it down a little bit. I usually try to trim the tails about the same as the end of the bow. I think that would work. Maybe we'll move it over a little bit.
Lynette says, I'm enjoying watching you. Take as long as you want. And brown ribbon.
And what was that about the ribbon, Lynette?
Brown ribbon.
Brown ribbon. Oh, brown ribbon would be good too.
Abby Cheek says I found you. So pretty.
Oh, thank you so much. All right. Looking for my foam. It's because I put it away. I can't find it now. There it is. I usually have my foam like right near me because I use it all the time, but let's see how, yep, we're gonna want one there too. And hopefully the ribbon will fit right in between all of those. And I think maybe one more little detail I like it about like that. I like how our bow just kind of sits in that little spot. And I'm gonna have to just let the bow be. Okay, and now we've got our card base, and I think maybe a little button would be cute.
Happy Teach said the sunflower sets it off. So nice.
Well, thanks, Happy Teach. So we've got a couple of buttons. I only have a few. My friend's little girl came over one day and she's like, when would you ever use that many buttons? And I'm like, well, probably never, but you know. I actually have buttons in here that were my grandma's, like that one right there. I inherited my grandma's button box, and then I inherited my mom's button box. So I've got a lot of buttons. I don't know that I ever need to buy buttons. That probably won't stop me, but let's do a little bit of twine. Where is my white twine? I have it. I can probably put it in here. I just want to put a little piece through the hole so it doesn't look like it. I'm just going to use this. Just so it doesn't look like it's just sitting there, even though it will be just sitting there. We'll just fake it. So I'm just going to use one of these braces, flossers. And I'm just going to put a glue dot on the back. And we'll just trim it. And it's just a little detail, but I think it looks nicer than that it's just sitting on top of your bow. Just makes it look a little more finished. And now we'll just add some adhesive to our card. I actually can, well, no. I was going to use glue, but I think with the ribbon I'd rather use some of our tissue tape. All right, so let's secure that on there. I'll do my best to get it centered. And maybe, do you think it needs a little bit of, I think it might need just a couple of little dots. And then I think we'll call her good. Should we try some yellow ones? This is just kind of an odds and ends pieces that I have left. We'll tie in that yellow a little bit further.
Michelle's amazing attention to detail.
Thank you, Michelle. All right. I think we're done. What do you guys think? Just a super easy card. I hope that you learned something about the Colorista markers. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will do my best to find the answers if I don't know them myself already. And I think that's it. Let me go ahead and flip the view.
Happy Teach says so awesome. Mom said she loves it.
Okay. Oh, thank you guys. I had so much fun with you tonight. Thank you so much for letting me kind of have fun just doing some coloring tonight. Like I said, I try to color a lot of times before the lives just because it does take a little bit of extra time. But with these new markers, I thought it would be fun to just try them out together and see what we thought. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I have something fun planned for next week. And I hope you will join me then. Have a great weekend. Bye.